Hey everybody, welcome back to the channel. Super excited to talk to you today about some more mindset and motivation things that I've been kind of kicking around my head for the past week or so, possibly even longer than that. Just not what I talked about last week on Monday. So this one comes with a little bit of a backstory. A few years ago, my family went bowling and I noticed that my oldest child was very frustrated with how they were performing at bowling. And so, kind of as a joke, kind of as a way to try to help motivate them to pay attention to what they were doing a little bit more, I started just kind of like repeating over and over again, like, slow down and focus. And then I started using a little bit of hand signal with it, like just slow down and focus. Which, it kind of became a little bit of like a meme in our family, I guess, for lack of a better term. It's a very common thing for us to just kind of say to each other, or like every once in a while just kind of use the hand signal at each other, especially if we notice that one of the other people is getting frustrated. So why does that apply here? And kind of a little insight into how I've been doing things lately. It is very easy to look at people, especially online on social media, and kind of lose sight of the fact that social media is everybody's highlight reel. It doesn't show all of the struggles that they went through to get where they are. It is the best parts, generally speaking. There are some bads that people get into, and, I obviously appreciate when somebody will talk about the struggles they're having, especially with mental health or, even just physically. If somebody's missing lifts, if they're, struggling in the gym or struggling to perform where they're trying to perform, that also means a lot. But the majority of what you see is a curated look at what people want you to see. And so with that, it's really easy to look at somebody's highlight reel and wonder why you're not where you want to be yet, because you're able to look and see other people who are already there. And it leads to us trying to rush the process or even giving up on our process because we see people who have already accomplished it. And since we haven't, we just go, well, it's not going to work. I'm not there. I've tried for 6 months and I haven't made it, or I tried for a year and I haven't made it, or you could be trying for several years and not be where somebody else is. But you don't necessarily know the work that they had to put in to get to that point. And it's easy to lose track of our own goals because we're looking at where somebody else is that we want to be. So, it's an important thing to take a minute and remind yourself to slow down, not get ahead of yourself, and keep putting in the work that you need to put in. And focus on your own work. I'm not saying delete all your social medias or unfollow all of the influencers you see or anything like that. It can be a tool to give you some sort of inspiration to get where you want to be. I personally have someone that I look up to a lot on the internet that I see where they are, but I also know where they were 5 years ago when I first found them, and where they were 5 years ago is ahead of where I am now, but nowhere near where they are now at 7 years in. So I don't know, kind of an idea that goes parallel with this is if you think about any of those videos that you see online of like somebody who failed and attempted a lift, and then it cuts to them again 6 months later or a year later or whatever, and they hit the lift. Or it shows somebody when they were, poor, and then it cuts to them now living a successful life. And it's inspirational. You see it and you go, man, I am so stoked on the idea that like they failed and now they're there. But like, who wasn't inspired in the first half of that video? The person who failed. The person who wasn't doing the thing they wanted to be doing. And I mean, that may not be the truth 100% of the time, but from my own personal experience as someone who has failed lifts, fallen short in competitions, someone who has been, I would miss a lift, or I would come in last on an event at a competition, and I would beat myself up, not just in the moment. For days or weeks, I would beat myself up over missing a lift. Why? Have I beaten those lifts now? Sometimes. Some of them I'm still working on. But like, it's fine to be inspired by those videos. They're there to inspire you. But just remember, when you're upset with your own shortcomings, your own failure, your own miss on a lift, they weren't inspired by themselves when they missed the lift, or when they failed the event, or when they weren't doing what they wanted to be doing. So don't beat yourself up over that concept. They're inspiring you now. They may even inspire themselves a bit now, but I guarantee you there's something else they're missing on. Sure, they hit the lift or exceeded the lift that they missed in the first half of that video in the second half. But what are they missing now? There's another lift. There's people want to talk about how fitness or fame or, happiness, whatever thing it is you're pursuing, people want to talk about like, oh, it's not a sprint, it's a marathon. And like, kind of it's neither, because both of those have a finish line. Are you ever really going to be satisfied with where you get to? I'll tell you right now, I am a super small time content creator. I don't have, a ton of followers or subscribers on YouTube or any of that. Like, I'm not a Twitch partner. I'm not making money off of YouTube. I'm not big enough to do any of that stuff. If I were at 100,000, if I was at 1,000 subscribers on YouTube, would I just stop because I've gotten to a point where I can monetize my channel? Of course not. Would 100,000 make me happy? No, because then I'd want 150 and then 200. And then it's a never-ending cycle, because there's not a finish line to anything in our lives. No matter what thing you want to achieve, the thing that you think is going to make you happy, there's not an end there. There's not a final goal to get to. Don't keep using that sprint versus marathon mentality. It's not true. If I lost 100 pounds, would I be satisfied with where I was physically? Would I be happier? Probably. But would I just stop there? I'd be like, oh, I lost 100 pounds. We're done here. No. Losing 100 pounds still puts me overweight. It's a goal that I have. But once I lose 100 pounds, do I still want to get as strong as I possibly can? Yeah. Do I want to still be as lean as I can? Yeah. Do I want to be a better athlete? Yeah. Does any of that stop because I've lost 100 pounds? No. But I can't lose 100 pounds without losing 5 pounds and then 10 pounds. I can't rush the result I'm looking for. I need to slow down and focus. I need to stop looking at what other people have already accomplished and wondering why I'm not there yet. I need to look at what I can do, focus on the things I'm able to control in my life, and take those steps toward getting where I want to be. Slow down and focus, and you'll get where you're trying to go. It may not be easy. You may not even do it as quick as the people that you've seen do it. But if you slow down and you focus, you move the wheels in the right direction, you get there. You get where you're wanting to be. It just takes time, and it takes effort, and it takes intentional movement to do that. And I don't mean intentional movement in the gym necessarily. If weight loss or strength or whatever is not your goal, it takes movement toward your goal. You can get there. You just need to slow down and focus. Thank you all for coming out and listening. I'm really excited to be able to share some of the mindset things that I'm going through with you. And I'll see you next time. Love you.